Today is my 7-year sober birthday. 7 years ago today, I woke up too hungover to go to work. I was a new hospice nurse at the time, and I'd like to say this was my first time that ever happened, but it wasn't. It had happened several times before, and it was a new job. I was so ashamed, as usual. I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. This had been years coming. I had multiple years of me knowing I needed to stop drinking. But for whatever reason, on this morning, when I was so ashamed and so sick and throwing up everywhere, it stuck. And I stopped drinking and using drugs for 11 months. In those 11 months, I never once said I was an alcoholic. I never once got help. And that's what brought me to my knees, to my bottom. 11 months dry. I didn't do any of the things I thought I would do. I didn't do anything more creative. I didn't start working out. I didn't get this bigger life. If anything, my life got smaller and smaller and smaller, to the point where I felt like I was close to suicide. I didn't feel like I was going to kill myself, but I felt like this must be how people feel when they want to commit suicide. So I randomly saw a friend in the grocery store that I hadn't seen in a long time around this 11-month time, when I decided, like, in my head, I think I'm going to start drinking again because I can't live without it, basically. I see this friend. We decide to go on a hike. For some reason, I pour my heart out to this girl who I barely know. And on the hike, she was like, "Girl, you sound like an alcoholic." I was like, "What? No, I don't. I've never gotten a DUI. I've never been to jail. I've never, beat someone up." Like, all these ideas of what I thought an alcoholic would do. She was like, "No, my mom's been a sober alcoholic for like 32 years in AA, and, she never went to jail or anything either. You should just go to meetings." And I was like, "No, I don't need that." And she was like, "Well, just go for friends." Like, she was being genuine. She was like, "If you need friends, if you're isolated, like, go to meet friends. There's tons of sober people there." So she took me to my first meeting. I was desperate enough in that moment to be like, fuck it, I'll do whatever. In the first meeting, nothing happened. I sat there, I was scared, I didn't say a word, I didn't do anything. But that opened the door to my second meeting, which was the next day, and I went by myself. I can still remember, like, what I was wearing, what the air felt like. And in that meeting, I found myself raising my hand and just being honest and crying to everybody and telling them how I was feeling, what I was going through, and how I was so confused. And I didn't think I was an alcoholic, but I really need help and something's wrong with me. And of course, in AA, they hear the story all the time. This is not an unheard story, which I thought I was unique, of course. And if you ask for help in an AA meeting, you get help. And that's what I did. I just dove right in. I was so desperate. I did all the things you're told to do in AA meetings, and it changed my freaking life. I'm happy, joyous, and free 7 years later.